race fans. On today's racing video, we're going to show 3 sprint car heat races, 2 sprint car A features, and the A features of the modifieds. Let's get to it. And here we go with Heat 1 action. They hit the chalk. A green flag does not fly. That was a bit of a jump on the 44 car of Jake Helsel. So they're going to go back and take a second stab at getting the racing season underway. Here's our second attempt, and it is as bad looking as the first one. So this one gets waved off also. Here's our third attempt, and it looks pretty much the same as the other two, but this time they get the green flag, and we are finally racing in the 2018 season at Skagit Speedway. Jake Helsel takes the lead, and he's being followed by Trevor Cook in the 22X. Bill Rood in the 33 holds on to the 3rd spot. Michael Hodell is about the only driver right up there that's going up towards the cushion, trying to run the high side a little bit. I had that incorrect. Trevor Cook is in the 3rd spot, behind Bill Rood in the 33 car. Closing in sharply, however, on Rood. Hodell continues to try the outside. See if he can make that work for him. Meanwhile, up front, Jake Helsel with a comfortable lead. And now Trevor Cook in the 22X does get by Bill Rood. Bill moved back down now into the 3rd spot in this heat race. Michael Hodell has worked his way around the 29 car of Eric Turner, moving into the 4th spot. Does appear to be a dry, slick track condition. And no further movement in this race. Your winner is Jake Helsel, followed by Trevor Cook in the 22X. In the 3rd spot, the 33 of Bill Rood. The 11 car of Michael Hodell in the 4th spot. 29 Eric Turner in the 5th spot. And Joe Lyon finishes it out in the 6th spot. And we're already into heat racing action. Heat 2. James Bundy jumps out to the initial lead. Michael Hodell is, not Michael Hodell, that's Michael Bollinger in the 73 car. He also is trying the high line. Trying to close in on Bundy. Ashley Johnson holds down the 3rd spot, while Bailey Jean in the 14B holds the 4th spot. Being hounded though by the 66 of Brett McGee. Up front, it continues to be James Bundy. Being chased by Michael Bollinger, who continues to run that cushion. Or at least attempting to. On the high side, with that momentum, man, he does begin to close in on your leader, James Bundy. Bundy keeping it low in that first groove, while Bollinger takes the high side. Long way around the track for Bollinger, but he's right on the back Nerf bumper of Bundy. The low groove and the high groove battling it out for first place. Bundy managing to hold off Bollinger. as Bollinger continues to use that high line. This one's over. In Heat 2, James Bundy is your winner. In the second spot, the 73 of Michael Bollinger. The 0 car of Ashley Johnson in the third spot. 14B goes to Bailey Jean. That was the 4th spot. In the 5th spot, it was the 66 of Brett McGee. And the field is rounded out in the 6th spot by the 22 car of Devin Barnes. And here we go with Heat 3 action. 2 veterans on the front row, the 79K of Kelsey Carpenter and the 23 of Steve Parker. Kelsey Carpenter, no stranger to Skagit Speedway. He has won the track championship in all 3 divisions. In the 410 division, when 410s were running here, in the 360 division, and in the Sportsman division, which, by the way, is what we're watching right now, as the Sportsmans are opening the season as your first class of cars at Skagit Speedway. Kelsey Carpenter makes good his pole. He's on the lead, followed by Steve Parker. Corey Swetzina in the 2 car. He's in the 3rd spot. The 9J with Brett Johnson in the 4th spot. Zach Keefe in the 10 car is your trailer. Cars somewhat evenly spaced out now as they begin to run these laps off in Heat 3 action. Kelsey Carpenter continues on the point. Steve Parker looks like he's moving around trying to find a little bit better traction, a little bit more speed. And Kelsey Carpenter, he'll put that car wherever he feels it best to put it. He will run the high side, he'll run in the middle, and he'll run right down on the bottom of the track. Whichever one is the fastest for him. Kelsey in that all black sprint car. That car, by the way, is owned by Bill Rude, who drives the number 33. And we've got a red flag condition. We didn't catch it on the video, but the number 10 car is Zach Keefe. Found the outside wall in turn 1. Did turn the car over, but the news is that he is okay. So we're going to have a green-white checker here as the last 4 cars are going to run this off. And their finishing order is going to be the 79K of Kelsey Carpenter in the 1st spot. In the 2nd spot, it's the 23 of Steve Parker. In the 3rd spot, it will be the 2 car of Corey Swatzina. And in the 4th spot, the 9J of Brett Johnson. And Zach Keefe, even though he wasn't able to finish the race, rounds it out in spot 5. Alright, race fans, here we go with your A feature sportsman sprints of the evening. They're going to do a warm-up lap, get some heat in the motors, and then we're going to go racing. I do believe this feature race is 25 laps. Shot, the green flag flies, and we are racing. 9 of Eric Turner was on the pole. Outside of Eric was the 14B of Bailey Jean. And Bailey Jean uses that outside momentum to her advantage. She gets around Eric, and she is your leader after the first circuit. Everybody else giving chase. And Eric Turner, quite frankly, he's beginning to fall back a little bit. Some of the more wily veterans get around Eric, moving into position. Bailey Jean continues to show the race. In fact, Eric Turner found himself on the high side in turns 1 and 2. Corey Swatzina in the second spot, beginning to give chase and put pressure on Bailey Jean. Meanwhile, sitting in the third spot, the veteran Steve Parker. He's won the Sportsman Championship at Skagit Speedway on several occasions. Bailey Jean continues to use that inside groove, and at the moment is holding off the field. Corey Swatzina looked to be closing in, and now he seems to have settled into about a 8-car length gap between himself and Bailey Jean. Steve Parker now beginning to move in on Corey Swatzina. So far, a very clean race. Everybody minding their P's and Q's and keeping it on the right side. All 4 tires down on the track. Dry, slick racing conditions making it difficult for the drivers to gain positions on other cars. And now Corey Swatzina, just as I said that, pokes his nose down underneath. Excuse me, that we've got a caution as the I'm not sure. We got we got a caution. One of the cars went around, and that was Steve Parker that showed the nose wing to Corey Swatzina in turns 1 and 2. Parker tries to take advantage on the restart, but Corey Swatzina holds him off. Meanwhile, Bailey Jean continues to show the way. Three wide coming out of turn 2. Sometimes that's a disaster, but they all get through nice and clean. Steve Parker now definitely putting pressure on Swatzina. And Trevor Cook in the 22X, he wants part of this show as he's running closely in that 4th spot, trying to put pressure on both Swatzina and Parker. Parker looks to the high side, gets blocked. Trevor tries the high side to gain advantage there. You can throw a blanket over 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Good racing, and now Parker does get down underneath Corey Swatzina coming out of 2 and looks to take that 2nd spot, and he will have it at the line. While all that racing action was going on for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot, Bailey Jean continues to show the way. Steve Parker, though, now beginning to show signs of closing in on the youngster Bailey Jean. By the way, Bailey Jean is 16 years of age, and she has the distinction of being one of the few female drivers to ever win a feature event at Skagit, which she did in the 2017 season. So she's trying to repeat in the opening race of 2018. However, Steve Parker's putting some real serious pressure at the moment on her. Bailey Jean continues to shut the door by staying on that low side. Question is Parker going to get a little frustrated with the young lady? We'll find out. Trevor Cook and Corey Swatzina having a good battle for that 3rd and 4th spot. And now Parker looks to the outside. Can't get it done on the inside. He's going to try the high side. He stays high. Coming out of 4. Parker with the momentum. Gets by Bailey Jean. It slams the door going into turn 1. And we have a new leader. It's the veteran Steve Parker over Bailey Jean. Steve Parker sets sail now that he's gotten past Bailey. Parker in the first spot, Bailey Jean in the second spot. Swatzina continues to hold that 4th spot. Excuse me, Swatzina, that he continues to hold the 3rd spot as Trevor Cook hangs on to the 4th spot. And this one is over, folks. Your winner, the 23 is Steve Parker. In the 2nd spot was Bailey Jean. In the 3rd spot, it was Corey Swatzina. In the 4th spot, it was a 22X of Trevor Cook. Okay, race fans, here we go with your 360A feature main event of the evening. A small field, 9 cars, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have some pretty good racing as they hit the chalk, and we are underway. And showing that lead, that taking the point after the first lap is the 2 of Greg Hamilton. And we've got a car that gets hooked up, flies into the turn 2 wall, and ends up upside down. That looked pretty bad, actually. Pretty violent moment there. And yeah, that is the 57 car of Bud Ash. And the good news is that Bud was able to get out of the car and he was not hurt. So a moment of concern there, but Bud is okay and we are back underway. And that incident took 3 cars out of the race. We saw Bud Ash, of course, he got it upside down, and the 2 cars that came together and sustained enough damage not to continue in the race were Chance Crum and the AR of Cam Smith. Hey, excuse me, that 8R is the wrong number for Cam. So we'll get back to racing here and we'll identify what's going on, and it is the 2 car of Craig Hamilton. He continues to show the way. Eric Fisher is in that 2nd spot. And we got a battle for the 3rd and 4th spot. As that is Colton Heath. He looks to the inside, runs the car high, makes the pass, and now he has claimed 3rd spot over the 8R of Jared Peterson. We had 2 8R cars here, both of them out of Canada. They came down for the race, and Eric Fisher and the number 2 car. Oh, Eric Fisher has gotten by the number 2 car, Greg Hamilton. Boy, I'm really not quite with it here, but we will get this straightened out as Eric Fisher makes a strong pass on Greg Hamilton, moves into the 1st spot, moves Greg Hamilton back down to the 2nd spot. Colton Heath, meanwhile, continues to run in the 3rd spot. And Jared Peterson in the 4th spot. So a lot of action in the opening laps of this 360A feature main event. We had a lead change. Eric Fisher now is your leader, being chased by Greg Hamilton and Colton Heath. Heath with about an 8 to 10 car gap over the 8R of Jared Peterson. Matt Jensen in the 5th spot, and Luke Didiak in the 6th spot. Now Colton Heath, he's trying to challenge for that 2nd spot as he closes in on Greg Hamilton. Heath looks to the low side. Momentum favors Greg Hamilton, and we've got a caution. And that caution is for the 9J car of Luke Didiak as he comes to a stop on the front stretch. Down to 5 cars now. Eric Fisher continues to lead. Hamilton in the 2nd spot, Colton Heath in the third spot. He's trying as best he can to get underneath Craig Hamilton. And he's not able to do it as Craig has found the high side, and that is working well for him. Eric Fisher in that low groove. Colton Heath, he tries to the low groove, keeps it low. Hamilton, though, he's up there running on that thin cushion, and that momentum is definitely got his favor. He takes to the inside, and he bumps. There's contact between himself and Fisher. The bump and pass. Now, it wasn't deliberate, but it just did happen as Craig Fisher took it in hard and deep into turn 1, got underneath Fisher. Yeah, and the two had contact. Fisher got it a little out of sorts, and that was all that Hamilton needed. Meanwhile, though, Fisher and both Colton Heath, they are trying to run down Craig Hamilton. They're not letting Hamilton out of their sight, that's for sure. Hamilton continues to run up on that cushion. It's a long way around the track, but right now it is working for Hamilton. Colton trying to take measure on Fisher and just not able to get there. Now Colton looks to get by Fisher right on his nerve bar. Colton goes up on the high side. Fisher remains on the low side. And now Colton Heath gets down underneath Fisher, moves into the 2nd spot. Here comes Fisher. Great racing for that 2nd spot, and a caution has come out. And that's the 98 car of Matt Jensen, who came to a stop coming out of turn 2. So that negated the pass of Colton Heath on Fisher. Fisher had to go, Heath has to go back to the 3rd position on the restart. Fisher retains his 2nd position. Meanwhile, up front and continuing to run that high side is Hamilton. Fisher again closes in, Heath closes in on Fisher. Little bobble on Fisher on that high side, turn 3. Meanwhile, Hamilton, he is liking that high side. I don't think he's come down from the high side this entire race. Fisher gains ground on Hamilton in turns 1 and 2, but Hamilton is able, with that momentum, to hold Fisher off. Heath in the 33, he's trying to get back to Fisher, can't happen, as Jared Peterson beginning to challenge Colton Heath for that 3rd spot. And now Hamilton, he's opening up a reasonable gap of about 8 to 10 car lengths, and this one's over, folks. Your winner, the 2 car of Craig Hamilton. In the 2nd spot, the 59 of Eric Fisher. In the 3rd spot, it was the 33 of Colton Heath. In the 4th spot, the 8R of Jared Peterson. And Matt Jensen rounding out the top 5 in the 98. And here we go with the A-feature race for the modifieds. Right off the bat, I'm going to have to tell you that a lot of these cars I am not able to identify, even though I do have drivers' names. So we're going to work on that next week, and because the modifieds will be running again next week, weather permitting, and I will make sure that I get all of the car numbers to their associated drivers. So one thing that I do know in this race, it's a good race. You're going to enjoy it. And so stick around and watch the whole entire race. Right now it's the 22 of Mel Decker who's got the lead. We've got a little bumping and jostling there going on between Ben Gunderson and the 68, one of the three cars that I can identify. And 9-car field, but they are closely bunched, and this race pretty much stays that way. It's got an exciting finish. I think you're going to enjoy it, so stick around. I'll just kind of be quiet and just throw in some comments here once in a while when I know what I'm talking about. All right. Mel Decker does continue to lead this race. Interesting, Mel Decker's been around this racetrack for, I've heard 3 decades, but anyway, it's a long time. And it's also true that Mel has not won a feature race here for many number of years. So Mel Decker trying to get the monkey off his back with this one as he is showing the way. The car slowed down for an obvious reason, as we have a caution as 2 cars came together in turn 2. Oh, the 2 cars that came together were Ben Gunderson and Mike Stelz. Tried 4 wide in turn 2. That didn't work out so well. A couple of cars, a bit of bumping and jostling going on, as they did manage to get it 3 wide coming off of turn 2 and got another caution. And this caution is for debris on the racetrack. That 4 wide left some parts high in turn 2. They hit the jump, and we're going to go racing. They form up 2 abreast, double wide, with the exception that the leader is alone out front on the restarts. Once again, it gets a little ticklish coming out of turn 2 on that restart. 4 wide just doesn't work. Mel Decker continues to show the way. Meanwhile, Mike Stelz is moving into that 2nd spot. Ben Gunderson with a good run. He's moving into the 3rd spot. Both those cars were tangled up, and here they are in the top 3. I'm going to take that back. Ben Gunderson is in the 4th spot. Ben's fighting for that 4th spot position. Meanwhile, Mel Decker has yet to put a wheel wrong as he continues to lead this field. Good race there, coming off of turn 4 for the 2nd spot. So far, a relatively clean race, only 1 caution. And now, Mike Stelz is showing signs of beginning to gain on Mel Decker. Laps are closing down, and Mel Decker is closing, Mike Stelz is closing in on your leader, Mel Decker. Stelz on the inside. Decker fights back, holds him off. Stelz back on the inside, shows the nose to Decker. Decker down the back stretch once again. Stelz goes to the inside. There, Decker barely at the line. Got a lap car they have to deal with. Stelz has to pull up back behind Mel Decker. Is this going to be Decker's race? Stelz right on Decker's back bumper. Stelz to the inside, and Decker bobbles the car, but we have a caution. On the restart, it's Decker leading. Gunderson fighting for that third spot. Tries to get down under Stelz. Stelz holds him off. However, Gunderson solidly moves into the third spot. Decker your leader. Stelz in second. Gunderson in third. Stelz now again works down underneath Decker. Decker drag race down the backstretch. Stelz continues to hold that inside line. Throw a blanket over them as they cross the line. Stelz continuing to work the inside. Decker on the high side. Decker with the advantage going down the backstretch. Stelz working the inside. They come to the line, and Stelz now looks like he's got a bit of advantage on the inside. He does. He makes the pass, folks. This is the final lap, the white flag lap. Bringing it to the line, Mike Stelz with the win in the 62. Heartbreaking for Mel Decker. He's the bridesmaid, finishes at second space, number 22. And Ben Gunderson with a good run in the third spot, the number 68.